Welcome everybody here to the Red Sox Racing Series. We are live here in qualifying LMP2 cars out on track here for the Red Sox Racing Series, sponsored by Not Your Average Green. Make sure you check them out. Veteran owned, veteran operated, Not Your Average Green, perfect for home decor and all that good stuff. Check him out. He is a great guy. Deserves every bit of love that he gets. Make sure you check him out. They are the proud sponsor of the Red Sox Racing Series here live on Trackside Racing Network. I am your host, Adam Chapman, here tonight, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce this name, so do not butcher me, but we are live from the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Yep, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the rest of it because I will butcher it, but it is the short version of this racetrack. So it should be fun, as like I said, qualifying is underway right now here in the LMP2 cars. Right now on top of the board, it is none other than Ross Booth, currently out there on track. Right now sitting P1 in that number 6 car. Then Ryan Robertson, Robert going to be in third. James Allard, Mark Wilson, Dave Hill, Les Turner. A lot more LMP cars in here tonight than, honestly, more than what I expected. We got 14 of them, but only just about 8 of the GTE cars. Which, you know, not superstars. We actually got 15 of the LMP2 cars. I apologize. But either way, should be good. James actually goes to the top of the board, so a new leader right now on the top of the LMP2 class. Let's jump back a little bit. Mark Wilson out on track right now. We're sitting there playing with some cameras and stuff earlier, and I was getting some pretty cool shots of these cars. They're actually pretty cool when we first came on the air. Let me know in the chat who you guys are pulling for and who will walk out of here with the victory. We'll hop down to the racetrack here in just a moment. Right now we're up here at the pre-race desk. Showed off this lovely background that we got here, which is pretty awesome. But Ross Booth just jumping to the top of the board. Mark Wilson crossing the line. He's going to go from 7th, and he will stay at the moment P7 at a very tough racetrack when it comes to this. This is only 11 turns when it comes to a place like this, so it's going to be definitely interesting as this race goes on, who's going to be able to kind of keep our limits around them. One of the things about this, track limits are very sensitive at a place like this, and you do not want to have any X limit that you can avoid, if that makes sense. So anyway, ready to get going here. This race I don't think will finish under dark. I know it's kind of late right now, but I don't think it will. Anyway, there is 70% practice track state. Qualifying carries over into that track state, and then it carries over to the race. So there you go. These guys do get one quick repair as well. And, yeah, pretty much thinking mine. One thing about the LMP2 car, this car is actually pretty stiff and very low to the ground. You can kind of see it right here as we continue to watch Mark Wilson right now. But very low to the ground, very easily to abuse these turns, these curves that you see right now. It's very easy to upset this car. It can actually throw you off the track very quick and basically cost you a whole lap or could cost you a race. So one thing these cars are going to be kind of doing is a little bit careful when it comes to stuff like that. I think that's pretty much it. These cars should meet a couple times. Of course, this is only a 30-minute race. So cars will have to come down pit road, however, here tonight, as we will hop down to the racetrack now and get set to go here for Not Your Average Green Red Sox Racing Series. Let's see if we put that right there. There we go. It's a perfect spot for that logo. Dave Hill out on track, currently 3rd. Ross Booth, James Allard currently top of the board. Ryan Robertson back and forth. Mark Wilson, Robert right now 6th. Cameron Bidwell, Les Turner. Mark Kozlowski, David Barry, George top 10. Take that back. Chris Shieldsmith just jumped up into the 10th. But it should be a fun race. I'm not sure how much draft is going to play a factor in a place like this. I actually thought this track was a lot bigger. This is not, of course, the combined circuit where it's like 100 and something turns. You can tell it's only a minute 19 seconds is what we're seeing as far as lap times being put down. So that should be pretty interesting to keep watching. Anyway, qualified about done here. Let's jump back a little bit. Here's Mark Kozlowski. He's driving a very awesome LMP2. I was looking at this earlier. Pretty cool. I'm going to get racing on the side. Oh, there he is. You see these things so fast, so fun to drive. However, we was riding on board a few moments ago as well. See what it looks like inside the cockpit of these things. It is actually pretty confined. You look at these things and think that there'd be a lot more room. There is not a ton of room in these things, as big as they are. See him dropping all the way down to first gear, however, right there, and that turned down to second in this one. Don't think he'll shift up to third. Well, I guess he does shift up to third. You see how high that curbing was as well, now up to fourth. Don't think he'll hit fifth. He does hit fifth, actually. This is the fastest part of the circuit, so he may even hit sixth here. He will not. Now he'll drop down to second at least, even first. Yep, in first. See how bumpy this track actually is, too, going over them curves can definitely upset the car. Basically a lap around this place. Best lap for him right now is a 1:29.99. We'll see if that improves. It does improve a little bit to a 7.84. He jumps up a spot and goes to 10th. Trent Brown out on track. The number 7 car, currently 11th out of 15. Best lap for him right now is a 1:29.58. That was the previous lap. So we'll see if he can actually improve this lap as well and maybe try to get that car a little bit higher up in this grid order here tonight for the start of this one. Only 15 seconds remaining, so this will be his only lap out here, I do believe. Oh, yeah, his lap unfortunately not going to count. That is a off track, so that lap not going to count. So actually nobody else is on track besides him, and that will do it right there for qualifying because that lap will not count, so he will not get to finish it. And we'll head straight over to the grid, and we'll go ahead and look at your grid here for Class 1, which is the the LMP cars. There you go. Ross Booth on top of the podium here in qualifying. James Ellett and Robert going to be qualified third. Good start there for Robert. Dave Hill going to be starting fourth. Ryan Robertson fifth. Good to see Ryan having consistent races. He's been really impressive me lately. Really since the start of this season, he's just been impressive. Mark Wilson, Cameron Bidwell, Les Turner up inside the top 8. Good qualifying there for Les. A little bit further back, Christmas Shield, Mark Kudrowski, Trent Brown, David Berry, Kevin Kyle, William Cabela, Ed Sutcliffe. And is that all? Yep, that's all of that one. So here is your look at your Class 2, which is the GTE. It is Paul Gibson, Tommy Ryan up on the front row, Mitch Heller, Terry Dahl qualifying P4. Good lap by both of them guys, actually. Mitch, a really good qualifying effort. Bill Paul Lucky, a good qualifying. Actually, all these guys, really. Bill Paul Lucky, James Prostel, even though there's only 8 drivers in this class here tonight. Dwayne McCarthy and Robert. Paul Gibson, pretty fast in qualifying. Almost a little over a second faster than Tommy Ryan. So that's kind of a surprise there, I believe. But anyway, we'll jump back up towards the front here. Ross Booth looking to get us going here. Of course, we will have a double grid here, or double start, so we got about 10-second gap once these guys go green, so we'll be able to watch a little bit of the LMP cars race as they get set to go here tonight. Once again, it's track 2.25 miles long, 11 turns here in Nurburgring, Germany. So I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the turns because I am absolutely horrible at pronouncing names as it is. And, well, let's just be honest, I cannot pronounce them. I'm not German, so, you know. Real quick, next week, Mid-Ohio will be next week. Then we have an off week for that. So, here we go. Looking forward to this race. I've been looking forward to it all day. Zippy. Check out his Twitch. He's got a Twitch as well. Green flag set to wave here for these cars as the pace car is in. The green flag for the LMP2 is waiting. Waiting still. Green flag out of the air here for the Valera LMP2 cars. Going into turn 1 already. Dave Hill taking a big dive here. It's Dave in that 13 car. Robert right down the inside. Let's jump back real quick as the green flag about to come out for the GTE cars. Once we see this, we'll jump right back up to the other guys. As the green flag out in the air for the GTE series. And Paul Gibson going to take an early advantage lead. Let's jump right back up into this. Side by side. Well, it was side by side right here. And it looks like Les Turner. Mark Wilson. Side by side. I'm sorry. It's just all over the place. Mark Wilson. Oh, this is Mark Kudrowski. Nose first into all. He's got to be careful backing up here. The GTE cars are coming up on him. We'll see if we get a replay of what happened here to the 944 Mark. As a little bit of that curve, we talked about it, and it bit him. Now, back up towards live here once again. Trent Brown putting some pressure on David Berry. This is for 10th. As soon as I say that, we had a Cameron Bidwell, I believe, took over P3. All this is going on back here to GTE class. Mitch Heller currently running P3 at the moment. Terry Dahl P4. And Tommy Ryan right there in that Corvette. Tommy's actually struggled to me this season. Really with the fuel strategy on his part. Oh, another issue. Mark Kudrowski once again into the wall. He is attacking up curves, and honestly, it's kind of hurting him a little bit too much. And that's exactly what he did there. And around he went back into the metal barrier that time, into that guardrail. So tough right there. Ross Booth still out front here. Just LMP2 car still leading the way. Maybe got a little bit off track. Another issue for another driver, Mark Wilson, who qualified really well. This just happened. Did he get too much of that curving as well? We've seen Kudrowski had the same issue right here. Nope, he just got wheel spin, it looks like. Very interesting. Didn't hit anything. He is going once again, but that was pretty interesting. Paul Gibson, we're leading right now here in the GTEs as well. He started P1 and is currently running there. Ross Booth, new fastest lap is 19.799. Great lap there. Dave Hill. And who was that? Les Turner? Yes, it was. Les trying to figure out a way to take this spot away. Ryan Robertson actually on the outside of him now, side by side. Ryan appears like he may have it. He does. Les went ahead and let him have that spot for now. Ryan's fallen back a little bit here at the start. Here's Chris Smithshield, currently running P8. He's trying to run now. Les Turner here for 7th. As soon as I say that, Ryan Robertson putting some pressure here on Dave Hill as well for that 5th spot. There is Dave Hill in that Valvoline number 13 car. Cher Heller over on YouTube says, go Mitch. Mitch right now, P3. Doing a good job. Got a little pressure on, but also putting pressure on Tommy Ryan, which is Tommy, a previous champion in here. Mitch done actually, like I was talking about earlier, Mitch done great tonight in qualifying. I was very impressed with his qualifying lap that he put in. And he's going to need every bit of that to be able to pass Tommy. But it is, I mean, not saying it's not possible. It's very possible for Mitch to get around the way Tommy's luck has been going. Mitch is on it. Let's actually hop on board. We'll hop on board with him. There we go. Driving that Ferrari 488, I think, actually, out of our top 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 2 Ferraris inside the top 5, 1 third, 1 5th. A little bit of a toe here. You might be able to take a chance on getting by that 18 of Ryan. Not just yet. Oh, he's looking. Very sharp right-hand turn. He's about to come up on that long straightaway. He may have a chance there right after this turn. We'll see. Here you go. Open it up now. Tommy gets a little bit better exit, but he will have... Oh, it's not this turn. I apologize. It's actually the next one, I believe. I said that a little bit too early. Open it up right there. Get up through your gear good. Basically go pretty fast coming up here in just a moment. He got through that section really clean. And here you go. You're going to open it up right here. Pretty much full throttle. Try to utilize that draft if you can. Looking to the left side of Tommy Ryan this time. Tommy able to get back in front of Mitch that time. But either way, it's a good little battle here. We're going to continue to watch this between these two. It's being very impressive tonight as he works off the final corner. Once again, we know these LMP2 cars could cause issues for these GTE cars. That is just part of it at multi-class racing. So keep in mind, the blue on top of your screen is the GTE. On the left side of your screen with the yellow is all LMP2s. Once again, this is a 30-minute timed event, but drivers will have to hit pit road at least one time around the halfway point. Personally, the later you do it, from what I've noticed, is better, especially if you're able to do kind of like what we're seeing Mitch and Terry both do. Terry, of course, driving a new car here tonight as well. He's out there running that Porsche here tonight, that Porsche 991 RSR. But, ooh, back in, we'll just step out right there on the 45. But what I've noticed, if you can utilize this draft a little bit, like kind of like what we're seeing right here, it's the only place you're really going to use it for the most part. You're going to use that as long as you can, and it makes you take less fuel whenever you have to hit pit road. Terry locking up the brakes there a little bit as well. Still the best battle on track right now is these three cars with Tommy Ryan, Mitch Heller, and Terry Dahl. Paul Gibson has checked out over a 5-second lead. Ross Booth right now, the LMP2 cars, is out to a 4.5-second lead. We're trying to see, we're watching another battle kind of starting to form up. If it does, we'll jump up to it. But Dave Hill trying to take a spot away from fourth Robert right now. They're about 6/10 separating them two. So if that gets any closer, and there you go, Mitch Heller still side by side, not going to have the preferred corner. Watch for a crossover from that 45 as they exit the corner. Not going to be able to do it just yet. Oh, there it is. Hey, wow, he was actually able to make that work. This is going to be interesting right here going to the next corner. Still side by side. Mitch going to have to run out. He does not care about the off track, I promise. And look at that. Mitch Heller overtakes Tommy Ryan, 4P2. That is a big pass there for that 45 car. Now, one thing Tommy will have right here is a little bit of an advantage, utilizing his draft down these straightaways that is coming up here in just a moment. And we'll see if Ryan can maybe able to take that spot back and utilize this big run that he's going to have right here, actually. He got a pretty good run right there in that corner. And basically, you're full throttle all the way up through this section. And Tommy not going to be able to close with that draft. It does not look like. No, he will not. So Tommy Ryan follows back to P3, and Mitch Heller will take over P2. Ryan Robertson closing in here on Dave Hill for the 5th spot. These two guys have kind of been near each other for a while. Everybody right now spaced out. By the way, there was a switch back here. Tommy Ryan, what happened to Mitch Heller? He actually loses 2 spots off that final corner. Something happened right here. I don't know. Maybe Tommy Ryan got in the back of him. Let's see. This was coming through the final corner. Did Mitch get loose? A little bit. Just really slow through that section. Not sure what happened there. It does give up and actually lost 3 spots total. He dropped back behind not only Tommy Ryan, Terry Dahl, and Bill Palucky. Palucky actually moving inside the top 4, so he's having a good night here as well in that Wildcats baseball theme paint scheme. Right now the Ferraris right now running 4th and 5th. Oh, Tommy Ryan, a big mistake. Opens up the door. Bill Palucky takes that spot. Terry Dahl moves into 2nd now. Paul Gibson still leads overall in class, but we are having some good battles back here in the GTE class. Here's Tommy Ryan. Yeah, he goes in super hot. Goes outside the racetrack. Almost loses it. Woo! Boy, this is some good racing back here in this GTE class tonight. This is probably, like I said, one of the toughest track. Well, not really the toughest, but sorry guys, I haven't been reading the chat over here on the Facebook. Where's my chat? I don't really know, to be honest. Turns 1 to 4, slowest part of the track. Chicane can be a factor once classes start mixing. Yeah, and that's going to be a matter of time. Let's go up to Ross Booth. You can see right here, he's already mixed in as he gets around James Prosto. He's actually already passed 2 or 3 cars in this class, so it's a matter of time he's going to be catching these other ones. There's Todd Chase checking in as well. Todd, good to see you, my guy. I don't know where Burchett actually is, though. He wasn't very happy. He's been a little concerned about the mixed classes, so he hasn't really been running. He's afraid he's going to wreck somebody, so he has elected not to really race a ton of them, just because of the mixed classes and stuff like that. Oh, especially on these smaller tracks. And here we go. You see some more cars getting mixed in. We've talked about it before. This is where things get very interesting here. These LMP2 cars. Now, the GTEs are not doing nothing wrong. It is, from what I've been told, it is the LMP cars' job to get around these cars and communicate with one another to try to get around, to try to make it as clean as possible. You see right here, Ross Booth in the mix of it. It is just a mix-up back here. We got a battles going on with the GTE cars there as well. Tommy Ryan in a battle right now with Mitch Heller. Bill Palucky right up in front of him. Then you throw in the GTE or LMP2 car who's mixed in as he's getting ready to go around Terry Dahl, who's 2nd in class. And then Paul Gibson will be the one after that. Mitch Heller and there's Tommy Ryan still side by side here with Mitch Heller right now. Heller falls back currently still running P5 in that class. Meanwhile, here's Paul Gibson. Look, he's just all cruising, minding his business. I don't even know. He had a 12-second lead, so that goes to show you these GTEs or the LMPs, quite a bit of a gap. You can kind of see it right there going into the corner. So there's quite a bit of a distance between these LMP2 cars and the race leader in the GTE. Tommy Ryan getting passed by Mitch Heller. We didn't see it, but here's a look at it. Heller sends it in deep over the curb. What a pass by the 45. Granted, it didn't last very long because immediately following this pass, well, there you go. You see Heller coming down pit lane. Here's going to be our first pit stop of the night. And let's see if we can hear the box come on. There you go. You hear it? That is like so weird noise. Anyway, what we always like watching is the pit stop time, pit lane time total, and it gives us an idea of where guys are coming in and coming out. So Mitch Heller is going to be our first one in a pit stop, so we'll kind of watch him. I'm kind of glad they're not, to be completely honest, but it did surprise me too. Total time in box for Mitch Heller was 7.1, 31.6 total time on pit lane. So we're kind of going to be keeping an eye on with the other guys as well. That should be coming down here within the next few laps. Once again, we're past halfway. Everything kind of spaced out here. There is a little bit of a battle here for P4 in the LMP2 class. Looks like I was able to make this race. Looks like fun. Let's go PG-13 boys. Came up there at third, and Paul leading GTE. Cameron Bidwell. You know, this is a guy, Cameron's actually a guy I thought would definitely have a chance for a championship. I actually like that paint, by the way. You see Tommy Ryan right here behind him in the mix-up as well. I'm actually a fan of Cameron's paint, though. Oh, he goes wide. It's going to open the door. Behind the GTE of that 81. Bill Pawlucki, who was just hoping he could make it through this without getting wrecked. You see right there, these guys are all kind of all over the place right now. It's hard to actually commentate when he's like literally all over. It's hard to keep up with who's what and what's going on and all that good stuff. Nobody else on pit road at the moment. We should be seeing it. By the way, Paul Gibson, who's the race leader in the GTE, getting ready to get passed by the overall LMP2 of Ross Booth. And there you see it. David Berry has had an issue. Well, I don't know. He's still sitting there. I don't know. Something seems like it might have happened here. Yeah, something happened. I bet his screen went black is what I'm guessing. Because he is still sitting there in the corner. David Berry out of this one. Still in the fence, by the way. Hopefully he tows. Hopefully he gets back to be able to do that. I'm not sure what's going on with something. Hopefully he's alright. Well, it's got me a little bit worried about what happened to David here. Hopefully it's just the screen went black, but he did tow, so he's good, but actually, you never know. I'm sorry. Mitch Heller back on pit road, and this is not scheduled, I don't think. I believe he had a penalty on that 45 car, and unfortunately, that will take him out of tonight's race and have a chance at the top three. I'm not sure what's going on with that car, though. It's got to be a penalty, I believe, on the 45. Sadly, it don't tell us what we're using our overlays. I'll check and see if I can find something about it. I do not see anything. I'm not sure what's going on there. Mitch Heller definitely had a top three going. That's unfortunate. Bill Pawlucki got a top three going right now. So he's battling Tommy Ryan. This is for position. Oh, contact! So much for Bill Pawlucki having a top five. The window got busted out as well. Here's a look at this. I think he may have came down a little bit here on the 18. Tommy looked to the inside. Kind of sent it in as well. And there he was. Oof. Tough break there. Ed Sutcliffe is on pit road. Down and away. 8.5. I like that paint scheme, by the way. 8.5 seconds on pit lane. Or in the pit box. Total time on pit lane is 33.8. See Cameron Bidwell right here catching up to the back of the GTE leader. And by the way, we got other pit stops underway. Tommy Ryan is on pit lane. He's going to take that quick repair. One thing Bill Paulucki can do, even though he was involved in that wreck, he can take that quick repair. These guys do get one. Want to go ahead and mention Tommy Ryan is 6.2 seconds. James Prostell also on pit lane. He just exited 6.2 seconds as well. Same exact time, 30.0 total time on pit lane for not only Prostell, Tommy Ryan as well. How about that? Ross Booth putting Ed Sutcliffe a lap down. I'm sorry, that's not Sutcliffe who put a lap down. What was that? Oh. There we go. Cameron Bidwell, Robert, and Dave right now, third, fourth, and fifth, all within reach and distance of one another. Here comes a run right here. Robert trying to take over third. Will he be able to? Yep, there he goes. Looking to the inside, not going to be able to get it. Dave Hill looks on from P5 as well. Here you go. Side by side, the 13 and the 199. I'm sorry, that's not 13, that's the 56. And the 199. And now the 13. Oh, Dave Hill had to check out that one. He about got into the back of Robert there. Definitely could have ended badly. As we're estimated at about 23 laps in this race. We've been so far 18. 7 minutes still to go. So there's still a little bit of racing left. And there you have it. Robert on pit lane. James Allard on pit lane. Let's watch James. He's having a good run here tonight as well. Total pit lane time. We're going to watch. Total time on pit lane, 39.2 in the box. He actually spent quite a bit of time actually in the box compared to what I thought. Robert actually only spent 7, so he spent 2 seconds longer than a lot of these guys. And 33.6 total time. Robert, on the other hand, right there, 7.7, 32.3 seconds total time on pit lane. So we'll see where all this shakes up at here in just a moment. As now, it is time for the man to come down pit road. Ross Booth. By the way, I did miss Paul Gibson. He did come down pit lane in that GTE as the race leader. He is already done. Him and Terry Dahl both have been on and off pit road. They both run still 1 and 2. Terry's having a fantastic night here tonight. Currently running P2. Right now, it is Ross Booth's turn, however. Zippy, you can check him out on Twitch. The real Zippy. Look, he even got the TRN logo up there. That's pretty sick to see. Pretty cool. Thank you, Ross, for doing that. That's awesome, man. We'll watch Ross here as he gets ready to pull out a pit lane. There he goes. Yeah, he did not take much at all. 5.4. Going to be dead away. He only needs around 5 more laps is what we're estimating. We got 5 minutes left, so yeah, that sounds about right. Cameron Bidwell is on pit lane as well. Took a little bit more. 6.8 total time on pit lane, so he took about a second more worth of fuel than Ross, but we'll see where it all plays out. He's actually going to come out, I believe, around third once all this cycles through. As Dave Hill takes the lead, but does have to come down pit lane. Keep that in mind. Probably going to see him hit this time, I would guess. And also Kevin Kyle has to hit pit lane as well in this LMP2 car. Everybody else has been on and off pit road already. So far we got 2 drivers out of the race officially. That is David Berry, who had that big mishap. Something went wrong there. And then Mark Kowalski had the 2 mishaps in the race. And here you go. That is your LMP2 leader coming down once again. it should all cycle over back to Ross Booth in that 6 car as we'll hop back to him and see. There you go. And that does cycle over to that. So we'll jump back a little bit further. Here's Mark Wilson and Chris Shieldsmith. Mark not having the greatest night here tonight. He started off pretty solid and just hasn't really capitalized on probably where he should be. There he is, taking a look to the inside of that 13 team racing. Chris Smith Shield, Trent Brown right up in front of him as well. Sorry, PG-13, sorry. I'll get it right eventually. Trent Brown running right now in the 8th spot. Les Turner up in 7th. Ryan Robertson 6th. And then it is pretty good gap. Ross Booth still leading the way. It's about a 16-second gap back to James Allard, who's about a second and a half in front of Cameron Bidwell now. As far as the GTE stuff, these guys have spaced out quite a bit as well. Terry Dahl trying to hold on to second. Tommy Ryan closing in pretty quick here. Oh, no. What was that? Was that the 85 I seen? Oh, that was Kevin Kyle in the 65. Here's what happened to Kevin. He just actually came out of pit lane a moment ago. A big spin for him. Battle about to be right now for second place in this GTE class. Terry Dahl trying to hold on. He's looking for his best finish of the season. Tommy Ryan closing that gap in quite a bit. It does sound like Buzz Lightyear's laser. As you mentioned it, yeah, I can see that. It's kind of weird because every pit road we've been to has sounded the same. It's the first time I haven't. That must be the German sound of the pit alarm. Still really weird to hear that though. We're averaging about 2 laps to go, which we will get both of them laps in, especially for the GTE cars. I know they're still going to have 2 laps to go. And yeah, there'll be 2 laps to go here as well for the LMP2 cars. Oh, here we go. Battle is up for the GTE. That gap has closing even more. Tommy Ryan putting some pressure now on that 53 of Terry Dahl. This is for second place in GTE. That's where pretty much most of our racing's been, within second and third and fourth all night long, as Ross Booth still leads the LMP2 class and Paul Gibson has dominated over here in the GTE class. He's about 24 seconds ahead of these two guys, as what we believe is the white flag for the GTE. As you see right there is Paul Gibson, but Terry smoked the tires. This might give Tommy the run he's looking for. Not so much, as the white flag is out for everybody on track. Paul Gibson looking to go to victory lane here this season once again. Still kind of watching the battle here for second as well in GTE class. Terry trying to everything he can right now to stay in front of that 18 machine. We're off the final corner. Paul Gibson is going to see the checkered flag here for GTE. He wins at Nürburgring. While that's going down, we'll jump back here just a little bit. For these guys, here comes Tommy Ryan taking a peek. Not going to be able to get it. Off the final corner, Tommy Ryan going to have one more shot. Terry Dahl looks like he may have it. And I believe he does as he crosses the start-finish line. We'll have to wait to double-check to make sure that was their final lap. Ross still going pretty hard here. There's Ross Booth as he wins. LMP2 class here from Nürburgring as well. Domination on his part. Once again, I don't know if these guys are actually done here or not, but we're going to pretend like they're not. So they may be actually on the last lap because Gibson's still going pretty hard here from what I'm seeing. He's right in the middle of a battle, I believe. Just making sure everybody is finished, but we're going to call it like it's not, just in case that the GTE was not on their final lap. If they ain't, they are now. And if that is the case, then here is, okay, so Paul Gibson is now taking the checkered flag, and he will win GTE class here from Nürburgring. There you go. Now Terry Dahl is trying to hold on to second still, and that's where the battle's been. As they getting ready to, they still got a little bit left here, about 10 seconds away from the start-finish line. Can Tommy Ryan get a big run here out of the final corner to get around this 53 machine? Out of the final corner they come. And now we can say Terry Dahl has finished P2 in class officially. Ross Booth once again wins here tonight in the LMP car. As you see him letting people go by and all that good stuff. These guys do have to go around one time at least here tonight. So we'll wait and see and all that good stuff. So congratulations to Ross Booth. Congratulations to Paul Gibson. Congratulations to James Allard and Terry Dahl. We're going to try to interview all of them guys here in just a moment if we can. Oh, Ross. See if Ross does any donuts here. He usually just stops out there and gets a good picture of himself. There's Paul Gibson as well. He's going to bring that 31 car down pit lane. He basically dominated that class here tonight. But we're going to talk to him right now. Ross Booth, Ross sat him up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
A P1 tonight, man. And basically it was goodbye field from the drop of the green flag. You did have a couple moments there, of course, with some GTE cars and all that good stuff, which we already know about. Talk us through it, though, man. Good night of racing for you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. James behind me there. I think if he had a better start, would be able to keep pace. He was having the same lap times as me, and I think he got really unlucky with some of the lap cars. I passed like 5 GTEs on the straightaway, and I think he got in the corners. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. So we go from here, and I kind of want to move up a little bit, talk about next week, Mid-Ohio. That's going to be a fun racetrack to take these cars on. What's your thought process of taking these cars there? Because we know that these things sit really low to the ground, and you got to be careful not to hit the curbs.
You can't get on these curbs at all in this car. It just upsets it so much. You lose so much traction and so much lap time. But it should be a lot of fun. I think, again, it'll be sort of a lottery, if you will, if you catch the GTs in the right spot or not. You can lose a lot of time following a GT car through the infield at Mid-Ohio.
For sure on that one, man. Well, you know how to do it. Shout-outs and all that.
Shout-out to everyone that comes out to these events, and I just want to dedicate this win to my cat.
I seen that, by the way. Sorry about that, buddy.
No worries. I appreciate it.
For sure. Next up, Paul Gibson finishes P1 GTE class. Man, you didn't have, let's just be honest, you had no competition tonight. You was going for the green flag. Not to call anybody out by any means, but when that green flag came out, you said goodbye to the rest of the field.
Yeah, I wanted to get out as quick as I could because it's easy to overshoot corners and stuff here. So, yeah, so I just kind of set a pace and just kept clicking them off. Like I wanted to slow down too much or try to push too hard because this place is tricky. So, just try to do the same thing every lap.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah, it turned out all right.
Tell us about the most important part of your race. Like, was it focusing on every turn? Because we seen the LMP2 cars, they couldn't really get on the curbs too much. Unlike the GTEs, you can get on them a little bit more. But is it when it comes to racing here, is it dealing with the traffic that you're going to be dealing with because you know that you got to deal with the LMP2s at some point? Or is it, focusing on just racing the track?
Yes. Yeah, a little bit of all of that. So, I mean, the track is really tricky, especially at turn one, because, I mean, it kinks to the right and you're on the brakes, and it kinks even more, and you lose elevation. So, and then a couple corners after that are just really slow. You got to be really patient on the throttle. But in a couple of the spots, the GTEs are actually faster than the P2. So, like, if a P2 came up and passed you going into the chicane, you had to check up a bunch in the GTE because the GTEs can just go right across the curbs, and P2s have to go around them.
For sure, now.
But we really slow the P2s down through the sweepers. So, yeah, it's just this place is just all about managing those gaps in traffic.
Yeah, I noticed that it ain't really wide as well, so you got to kind of, everybody's got to pay attention. So, either way, man, walking out with another win. Shout outs on all that as we get ready to head on to Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, just a PG-13 team that showed up today, and everyone was here except for Matt and Colin, and I want to say good luck to them and their Indy 500 race that they're going to be doing here on Saturday. So
awesome,
pretty much it.
For sure. Hey, good job, buddy. Good win.
All right, thanks.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Next up, it is a guy that we've been waiting to get in the booth for a while. Terry going to finish in P2 here tonight in that 53 Porsche. Terry, it's Adam up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
P2 tonight, man. Honestly, very impressive. I'm not going to lie. You normally haven't ran the Porsche too much, but you brought it out here tonight at Nürburgring. How do you feel about your overall performance? Pretty good night for you.
Yeah, the Porsche has always been good to me, and I thought I'd give it a try. It sticks to the track a little bit more. I don't know what it is, but it worked for me.
We seen you and Tommy battling really good there. Really, it was you, Tommy, and really Mitch and Bill. I mean, for a while there, that had to be a lot of fun. It looked like you guys was going back and forth quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you made a little mistake, and they were going right past you.
What's your thoughts heading to next week? Mid-Ohio, we know these things. Mid-Ohio is a good course. I absolutely love that track. But what's your thoughts heading there with the GTE?
Really looking forward to it, especially with this Porsche thing. Maybe it'll work there too.
For sure on that. Hey, you did good, man. Very impressive tonight. Good job on second place. You want to give shout-outs or anything?
Shout out to you for doing a great job for us. And Les, of course, for helping me out a lot. He does all the work. I just get to be the front guy. Anyways, all good stuff. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie. I felt more comfortable tonight calling two classes, so it actually worked out pretty good. Good racing, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to talk to Tommy Ryan. He finishes in P3. Now, this is an interesting conversation I've been waiting to have. Tommy, you got a copy?
10-4.
Oh, God. Sorry, my bad, man. Anyway, this is an interesting conversation. Like I just said, I've been wanting to talk to you because normally we see you on the podium. We've said that since when we first came back into the series this season. We thought you was going to be one of the top runners, and you've done good. You've had a lot of bad luck. I hate saying it, but is it the Corvette?
No, it's the driver. Because, Paul has, he's put the Corvette in victory lane a few times. So, no, it's me. I mean, I'm trying.
A lot of it's bad luck.
It is. It is. Some of it's my own dumb stuff, like wrecking James tonight. That was just a really stupid move to try to go down in there. He took a different angle than I did, and I thought, he was going to probably leave more room, and he probably thought that I was not going to be there. But I take blame. That was a stupid decision to try to pass him there. I should have just pitted and just let it work out in the pits. But, yeah, some of it's my own doing. Some of it's just bad luck stuff, getting caught up in other people's drama.
For sure on that one. Well, we know that we go to a few good tracks. I feel like we could kind of see you rebound. In a way, I mean, we go to Mid-Ohio. We go to Watkins Glen. I still believe we're going to go there. Canadian Tire as well as Road Atlanta. Do you feel like you could turn this thing around? I'm sorry, not Road Atlanta. I think we've already been. I can't remember. But either way.
All places. I mean, I love Mid-Ohio, but, last time we went there, I got my tail handed to me. Same thing with Watkins and Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
I enjoy racing everywhere, but, man, just these guys are fast, man. If you screw up, you're going to pay for it.
No joke. Me and Joe's pretty good friends, and he's literally told me the same thing. He said, you make one mistake, he said, you might as well kiss your chance at a win goodbye. So
yeah, man. I mean, hell, I'm dropping tires and spinning out and wrecking into people that are already wrecking, and I'm still having fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's really good race. I mean, me and Terry put on a great show there at the end, and I was definitely not going to do what I did to James, what I did to him. So I kind of learned my lesson. But
right.
If I was going to put the pressure on Terry, and if he screwed up, then I was going to take advantage. But he held his ground, and I didn't act like a jackass.
Sometimes it takes not so great seasons to realize your small mistakes and try to rebound, man. So keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get it turned around. We know how good you are. So shout outs and all that. You've been in here plenty of times.
Yeah. My teammates don't come around much, but Unacceptable Racing, I got a guy spotting for me, helping me with fuel mileage because I like to run out of gas lately. So
I've noticed that.
I can't turn left and right and figure gas mileage at the same time. So I'm old, man. My brain's slipping, I guess. But Northern Tool Equipment and Patriot Fire, Coastal Safety Auditors, and Terry for Les keeping this thing going. I mean, it's a good product. I mean, that's why people show up. So they keep doing what they're doing. People are going to show up. That's why I do. So anyway, thanks for you guys for putting on a good broadcast and keeping us entertained. So
hey,
hope to see you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll get it turned around here sooner than later.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm going to come out here and have fun and do what I do, and the podiums and the wins will come.
Yeah, exactly. We all know that's definitely coming. So hey, good job tonight, man. Finishing third.
Thanks, man. See you.
There you go. There is your interviews for tonight. That was Tommy Ryan. Pretty good conversation piece there. It's a matter of time, and we'll see him back in victory lane. We know it's coming. It's just when. But, I mean, right now it has been really the Ross Booth and Paul Gibson show week in and week out for the most part. Dave Hill didn't have a great run tonight. Mark Wilson didn't either up in the LMP2 cars. That kind of surprised me a little bit. Terry Dahl, very impressive tonight. Honestly, that was one of his better runs. He was really clean when he made his passes and very clean with pit stops, and that's always an important stop. So congratulations also James Prosto Jr. We didn't really talk about him too much. He finishes P4. Not bad. I mean, granted, there was only 8 GTEs, but he was right there. He wasn't too far behind these guys. Mitch Heller had a great run. Bill Paulecki also had a great run. Them guys also had a chance inside the top 3. And just, stuff happens. So a lot of that had to do with pit stops, I believe, that hurt them. But anyway, that'll do it for me from here, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all Sunday night. And y'all enjoy your weekend. God bless.